Once upon a time in a cozy house, there was a wonderful playroom full of fun toys. There was a teddy bear named Teddy, a soft bunny named Bunny, a bright red fire truck, a shiny blue car, and all sorts of other fun things to play with. But one day, oh no, something wasn't right. One of the toys was missing. Teddy and Bunny were the best friends and they loved playing together every day. They would have exciting adventures, go on imaginary journeys, and never got bored of their little playroom. But today, Teddy noticed that something was different. He couldn't put his paw on it, but something just didn't feel right. He looked around and saw that the toys were all sitting quietly, but they weren't playing like they usually did. Then Teddy saw it. Underneath the table where they all loved to gather, there was a little green block that was usually always there, and now it was gone. "Oh no," said Teddy. "Our block is missing. We need to find him right away." Bunny was just as upset as Teddy. "We have to find the missing block," he said. "But how?" asked Teddy. "We don't know where to start looking." Just then the wise old owl hooted from his perch on top of the bookcase. "If you want to find the missing block, you'll have to become detectives," he said. "Use your powers of observation and deduction to find him." Teddy and Bunny were a little scared, but they knew that they had to try. So they put on their detective hats and started looking for clues. First, they checked under the blanket where the block usually played, but when they looked underneath, it was nowhere to be seen. Said Bunny, scratching his ear. "This is a very puzzling mystery." Teddy sighed. "I don't know what to do." Then Bunny had an idea. "Let's ask the other toys if they've seen him," he suggested. So they went over to the rocking horse and asked if he had seen the block anywhere. "Sorry, but I haven't seen a thing," the rocking horse said, shaking his head. "I was just playing with my tail." Next, they went to ask the tea set, but the cups and saucers were all gossiping about the new teapot that had arrived in the playroom and hadn't noticed anything. Disappointed, Teddy and Bunny sat down on the rug and thought about where else the block could be. Just then, Teddy spotted something. "Look," he said, pointing his paw at a trail of small pebbles that led out of the playroom. "It looks like someone brought the block outside. Let's follow the pebbles and see where they lead us." So off they went, following the path of pebbles, not knowing where it would take them. After a while, the path led them to a big oak tree in the garden. "The block must be hiding in the tree," said Bunny, looking up at the branches. And sure enough, there it was, the little green block sitting on a low-hanging branch. "We found you!" Teddy cried, and he and Bunny climbed up the tree and took the block back down. When they returned to the playroom, all the toys were gathered around the table. "Oh, thank goodness you found the block," said the rocking horse. "We were getting worried." "Yeah," said the teapot. "You disappeared right in the middle of tea time." Teddy and Bunny were very proud of themselves. They had solved the mystery of the missing block. "It wasn't hard," said Bunny modestly, even though he was very happy that they had found the block. Teddy smiled. "We make a great team, you and I," he said. "The best team ever." And from that day on, Teddy and Bunny continued to have wonderful adventures in the playroom, solving mysteries and playing with all their friends until it was time for bed. And that's when the magic happened. Every night when the moon shone through the window and the stars twinkled above, the toys would come to life. They would dance and sing and play until the sun began to rise. And every morning when the first rays of sunlight peeked in through the curtains, they would hurry to hide before anyone woke up. For the toys knew that if anyone found out that they could move and talk, they might be taken away from their beloved playroom forever. So they kept their secret close, sharing only with each other the joy and wonder of their magical adventures. In the playroom, under the watchful eyes of the moon and stars, Teddy and Bunny became the best of friends as they embarked on all sorts of daring escapades and thrilling adventures. They fought off evil dragons, rescued damsels in distress, and explored far-off lands, all within the cozy confines of the playroom. But even as their imaginations soared, they never forgot about the real world that lay just beyond the window. They knew that one day they might have to leave their beloved playroom and face the unknown. But until that day came, they lived for the moment, embracing the magic and wonder of their toy existence and cherishing the friendship that bound them together. One day, while playing in the sandbox, Bunny noticed something strange. One of his favorite carrots was missing. "Oh no," he cried. "My carrot has disappeared. We have to find it, Teddy." "Don't worry, Bunny," said Teddy. "We'll find your carrot. Don't you worry." "But where do we start looking?" asked Bunny. "I've searched everywhere, but it's nowhere to be seen." Teddy thought for a moment. "Well," he said finally, "let's retrace our steps and look for clues." So they started at the beginning of the slide where they had been playing earlier and began to search for any signs of their missing carrot. As they searched, they noticed something strange. There were tiny footprints in the sand, like those of a mouse or a squirrel. "Look, Teddy," whispered Bunny, his nose twitching. "Do you hear that? I think I heard a squeak." They followed the sound and found a little mouse hiding in the corner with a carrot in its paws. "Oh, hello," said the mouse, startled. "I didn't see you there. May I help you?" Yes," said Bunny. "Have you seen a little brown carrot around here? It's mine and it's missing." "Why, yes," said the mouse, squeaking. "I think I saw a little girl pick it up and put it in her pocket. She said she was going to plant it in her garden." "Oh, thank you," said Bunny, relieved to know that his carrot was safe. "That's just what I was looking for." "No problem," said the mouse, waving his tail. "Any time." So Bunny thanked the mouse and raced off to find the little girl and get his carrot back. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the playground, Teddy and Bunny sat down on a nearby bench to rest. "Wow," said Bunny, sighing contentedly. "That was an exciting adventure, but it feels good to have my carrot back." "Me too," said Teddy, smiling. "It's always good to know that things work out in the end." They watched as the other toys came to life and began to play until it was time for them to go home. As they said their goodbyes, Teddy and Bunny couldn't help but feel grateful for the magical world they lived in and the wonderful friends they had made along the way. They knew that no matter what challenges or mysteries they faced, they could always rely on each other and their trusty magnifying glass to help them solve any problem. And so the mystery of the missing carrot became just another exciting chapter in the endless adventures of Teddy and Bunny, two brave and curious toy detectives who were always ready for anything.